girlfriend of Golden Johnson, fights at 140 pounds. Johnson tonight appearing at 135. You do the math. And the record for Golden Johnson, 15 wins, 2 losses and 2 draws. The most significant loss, that tough decision against Peter Cardona. Some ringside observers felt that Johnson deserved the victory in the fight. This is his first chance at a title belt.
大家好，老师从业中医男科30余年，帮助了数千名海内外华人朋友通过中药调理重回男性雄风。如果你也存在房事时间短、勃起无力、硬度差、中途疲软、肾虚、前列腺炎等问题，现在就加中医老师微信574-993-200，纯中药，一人一方，治根治本，帮助你持续坚挺20至40分钟。补肾壮阳，延时助勃，彻底告别快男软男。记住微信574-993-200。
By the Boxing Writers Association.
Is he Larry Merchant's Boxer of the Year?
Absolutely.
Mosley, managed and trained by his father, Jack Mosley. It's been a highly beneficial pairing for the two of them. They've created a style and a system that they call power boxing. And what has it done for Mosley? 28 knockouts in 30 fights. 7-0, 6 knockouts in championship fights. Since winning the title from Philip Holliday, he has successfully defended it by knockout every time.
You're the man.
So as Sugar Shane Mosley gets ready to pit his undefeated record against Golden Johnson, we take a look at the tail of the tape. Here in Pensacola, Florida, Mosley weighed in a quarter of a pound under the weight limit and has put on 11 1/4 pounds since. 9 pounds added to Johnson's frame since he weighed in at 135. Those weigh-ins more than 24 hours ago. 1.5-inch height advantage for Mosley and a 2.5-inch reach advantage. Johnson tried to make up for that by sparring against long-armed sparring partners. Punch stat numbers, Larry.
Both, as you can see, are relatively equal in the numbers, if nowhere else, although Mosley is the more accurate puncher. Same thing holds with jabs.
And rules of the bout with our unofficial ringside scorer, Harold Letterman.
The Shane Mosley Golden Johnson fight is scheduled for 12 rounds using the rules of the Association of Boxing Commissions. There is no standing 8 count, no 3 knockdown rule. Only the referee can stop the fight, and you cannot be saved by the bell in any round, including the 12th and final round. And Jim, we have a slight controversy. The ring tonight is 16 feet 9 inches. We checked with the president of the World Boxing Council, Jose Suleiman, who's sanctioning the main event between Roy Jones and Rick Frazier, and Jose said that the minimum standard for a WBC ring in a title fight is 18 feet. Jose said he instructed his referee, Armando Garcia, to measure the ring. Armando did check the ring, and he says it is 16 feet 9 inches.
And the smaller ring may redound to our entertainment value advantage. While you're watching this upcoming bout, you can also log on to www.hbo.com/boxing to chat and score each round of tonight's action. Also, go ahead and record your prediction for the upcoming welterweight showdown between Oscar De La Hoya and Ike Cuarte. Now let's go up to ring announcer Mark Barrow for the official introductions.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Pensacola Civic Center in Pensacola, Florida, for an evening of World Championship Boxing on HBO. Under the promotion of Murad Muhammad and M&M Sports and Square Ring Incorporated, in association with the Graham Casinos and Pepsi One. All the taste, 1 calorie, only one has it all. Your matchmaker is Talat Muhammad. Tonight's bouts are under the auspices of the Florida State Athletic Commission, the chairman in attendance, Alvin Goodman, vice chairman, Dr. Jack Gugino, commissioners Terry James, Eric Riley, and Aleida Waldman. Your ring officials assigned by the Florida State Athletic Commission, your ringside physicians are Dr. Jim Boyd, Dr. Wynn Hansen, and Dr. Lane Yonihiro. Your timekeeper this evening is Phyllis Gary. Counting for the knockdowns at the bell, the alternate referee, Max Parker Jr. And now, ladies and gentlemen, here at Muhammad and M&M Sports and Square Ring in association with Cedric Kushner Promotions and Arthur Palulo's Banner Promotions presents your first championship fight of the evening, 12 rounds for the IBF Lightweight Championship of the World. Ring officials assigned by the International Boxing Federation President Robert W. Lee, supervisor in attendance Miriam Muhammad. Your judges at ringside are from Chicago, Illinois, Pete Podgorski, from Atlantic City, New Jersey, Gene Williams, and from Miami, Florida, Stuart Winston. Your referee for this event from Pensacola, Florida, Tommy Timmons. Now, ladies and gentlemen, here are the principals first. In the blue corner, to my right, wearing the gold sequin trunks, weighing in at 135 pounds, with a professional record of 15 victories, 2 defeats, 2 draws, and 10 wins coming by way of knockout. He hails from Killeen, Texas, rated number 12 in the world by the IBF and the challenger, Golden Johnson.
Here we go, baby.
His opponent in the red corner, wearing the cream-colored trunks with leopard trim. He weighs in at 134 3/4 pounds. His professional record reads undefeated in 30 professional bouts, 28 wins coming by way of knockout. He hails from Pomona, California, the IBF lightweight champion of the world, Sugar Shane Mosley. 12 rounds for the IBF lightweight championship of the world.
2 seconds only. Gentlemen, this fight is for the championship of the world, and I gave you your instructions. I want to remind you that this audience is here to watch you fight, so keep it clean. Touch him up.
Golden Johnson said he would go right after Shane Mosley, so the size of the ring would be irrelevant if that were to pass, Gil.
Well, I'd like to see it because I think it would make a heck of a fight as long as it goes. But it's like going into a wood chopper, walking into Shane Mosley.
Golden Johnson says he believes he's stronger than Shane Mosley. Johnson's best friend, Jesse James Leha, is the man Mosley scored a technical knockout over in his last fight on November 14. And in that fight, Mosley hit Leha so many times on the top of the head that he badly bruised both of his hands. But he says that they have had sufficient time to recover as he gets ready for tonight. And Mosley sneaks in a right cross early on in the action.
Little light triple hook from Mosley. Give you a look at his fast hands.
That's a range finder, Larry. Just trying to find a range. I like the way Johnson, though, is staying pretty cool. Very calm. He's not using that snapping left jab that we saw him use so well against Cardona.
Johnson seemingly reluctant to let punches go in the early going. That's given Shane Mosley a fairly free rein to launch his offense, working behind the jab and coming in with power punches, as you see. James Leha told his buddy Golden Johnson in preparation for this fight that Mosley punches harder to the body than to the head. Body shots for Mosley help set up the TKO over Leha.
I think Mosley's best punches are to the body. One of the best body punches I've seen in a long, long time, especially with that left hook.
He said he learned to emphasize that punch by sparring with a lot of Mexican fighters in Los Angeles gyms.
Well, he throws that typical Mexican left hook to the body. There's good leverage on that punch.
In fact, in early sparring, early in his professional career with the noted Mexican body puncher Zach Padilla, Mosley says that frequently the two would stand and just ignore headshots and trade to the body for long stretches of time.
Zach Padilla was a very, very tough guy and a very, very busy fighter. So I'm sure he helped teach Mosley how to get in shape to fight.
Well, you talk about how some fathers have protected their sons as pro fighters, but Shane Mosley in the gym has been in with the best Los Angeles has to offer. Right hand lands inside for Golden Johnson, and Johnson
left hook by Johnson also
beginning to trade more freely with Shane Mosley. So you get the sense that maybe Johnson has now tasted Mosley's power, or thinks he has, believes he can handle the prospect of trading with the champion, and did so in the last 30 seconds of the round.
Excellent work, excellent work. He didn't like that body shot. All right? Body shot to the right side is devastating, and that's why he started to hold. He's moving to the left. Want to cut that off. Step your right hand.
After every right hand. Step it up. Put the pressure on him. Keep you rolling good. He can't hit you to the body. Keep the jab pumping. Roll inside. I want that left foot coming back. You hit him the first time. Keep it going. But stay busy. Put no pressure on him. Stop backing up. I don't want you to try to outbox him. I don't want that. You got to go to him. He wants you to try to outbox him on the outside. Step in, double, and triple your jab. All right, roll inside.
And there's Teddy Benitez, Golden Johnson's girlfriend, sizing up her boyfriend. I wonder if she agrees with the trainer. Do you, Bill?
Well, again, it's kind of tough to just walk in and put a lot of pressure on a guy with all the talent that Shane Mosley has.
But you're not going to beat him by boxing, is what his trainer is.
That's exactly right. You have to take chances. So Eddie Mustafa is probably defying the odds and doing what he has to do to try to win the fight. I admire him for that.
And just to underline the point again about Golden Johnson's girlfriend, Teddy Benitez, whom we saw at ringside. She's a 140-pound fighter. Golden says she's a boxer puncher.
And Johnson landed another good left hook in that last exchange. And you know, with all of the talent that Shane Mosley has, no question about that. I've seen a lot of fighters, all of a sudden they get hit a good solid shot, and all of that talent goes right down the right down the drain.
Well, that's one of the tests of what a fighter is beside hand speed. We want to see how he deals with adversity, because ultimately it is going to come.
There's that natural athletic ability of Mosley. Very unorthodox move, but they were successful.
Mosley landing the jab and chopping a right hand behind it. Goes back to trying to establish his jab and fires a right hand lead. Golden Johnson has traded well in some exchanges here early in round number 2. Hard right hand body shot by Mosley.
And again, Johnson was trying to counter with that left hook. It's a short left hook too. He nails it, lands it on the chin. We may have some fun.
So it looks as though Johnson, conscious of Mosley's commitment to punching to the body, wants to counter upstairs when he can against Mosley's body assault.
Well, that's exactly the thing to do, Jim, if he can do it. Here you go, Mosley switching to southpaw. And very effective switching to southpaw.
Fires a left-hand lead out of the southpaw stance and lands it solidly. He also switched southpaw on 2 or 3 occasions against Jesse James Leha. Now right-hand lead sets up the left hand to the body for Mosley, and Johnson not firing back in that exchange. Mosley says he's at his best when he's up on his toes and moving, but he definitely has a tendency to settle down on flat feet and just whack away.
Well, again, that's up to his corner to remind him to stay on those toes and keep moving. But again, you can see he's still able to get rid of some punches, whether they're landing or not. He's throwing them with bad intentions.
Golden Johnson willing to fight with Shane Mosley in the first 2 rounds, and those of us looking for entertainment are happy to see that. Still to come tonight, Roy Jones Jr. looking for another victory. This the 3rd time that he has fought here in Pensacola in his hometown on HBO. Turned down bigger money to fight in some casino towns, which might have been willing to host the bout, because he says that every once in a while he likes to service his obligation to his hometown fans, and since this is 1 week before his 30th birthday, what better time?
You're taking a whole lot out of these 2 rounds. Be surprised if we go past 8 rounds. Continue with the power boxing, the intensity, body shots. Yeah, and just don't throw caution to the wind. Right. He still wants to win.
Here we see Shane Mosley switching southpaw, back to conventional style, right hand, a little bit of a leaping left. Later on in the round, as you can see, southpaw. And I was really impressed, Gil, by the way he threw that left hand from the southpaw stance. It was like perfectly natural southpaw.
Natural ability. You can't beat that natural ability. And I agreed with his father when he told him, he said, you've taken a lot out of this guy already, because he has landed some good solid body punches, especially in the 2nd round.
Well, and he's thrown 178 punches by CompuBox numbers in the first 2 rounds, landing more than half of them. So heavy work early by Mosley, averaging 89 punches per round. That's a very big number for him.
Switch to southpaw, now he's back to orthodox style again.
It's almost like when he does it, Gil, it's almost like a pass receiver who goes out looking over one shoulder and then turns the other shoulder.
Quick left hook landed by Golden Johnson. Countering as Mosley went to the body again. Johnson hasn't been able to land his jab, but he keeps putting it out there. The left hook has been by far the most effective punch when Golden Johnson has been able to sneak it in.
You know, you hit the nail on the head. You said he's putting it out there. He's not throwing the punch with any concentration or any speed, that left jab. He's just putting it out there, as you mentioned.
Stay off his back, both of you.
And that's an invitation to Mosley's right hand.
Any kind of counter.
Sugar Shane Mosley in the cream-colored trunks with leopard skin trim. Golden Johnson, who's named, incidentally, for Golden Richards of the Dallas Cowboys. His parents were a big Dallas Cowboys fan, loved number 83.
And Golden Richards, he was a good catcher, wasn't he?
He could catch.
Well, like token Golden Johnson, because he's caught some already.
He has been mostly the receiver.
Boy, he's doing some good damage inside, Mosley.
Getting good shots to the body. Uppercut lands for Mosley. May have been the hardest punch of the bout so far.
There he goes.
Johnson is a little hurt at the moment.
Yep. I think the uppercut left him hurt, and he goes down on a double left hook.
To the body.
6, 7, 8.
In Florida, if you need time to collect yourself, you'd better go down. No standing 8 count here.
And again, as we had mentioned, that left hook to the body by Mosley, that's probably his best punch.
And another left hook to the body puts Golden Johnson down the second time.
5, 6, 7, 8. You all right? All right.
The end of round number 3, but a round in which Shane Mosley knocked Golden Johnson down twice, both times with left hooks to the body.
Good hit. Thank you very much. He's got a good hit. He's got an extension to land the hooks, Golden. That's what I'm telling you. You got to be inside. All right, he's not going to reach around. You catch him with your left hook all the time. But you pull him back, he's going to hit you with the left hook to the body. You got to go to the man. Throw the jab. You're not doing anything. Son, come on, baby.
Come on, baby.
You work too hard. You're not fighting. That ain't like you. You're not fighting, baby. What's up? What's up? Hey, man. Hey, he's a man just like you, man. What you waiting for? You ain't doing nothing. You just like letting him punch. You're not doing nothing. You got to go to war.
Get a look at Chain body work by Mosley. Right and left, two crisp, thudding left hands to the ribs. Right in there. Boy, it hurts from here. It's almost like a saddle being slapped by a 2x4.
Partially set up by the right uppercut, which seemed to have stunned Johnson about 7 or 8 seconds before. And of course, truly great finishers, when they have a man in trouble, they remember to go to the body. Mosley is in that category.
Yes, he is. Nice combination by Johnson.
You heard Eddie Mustafa Muhammad between rounds saying, Golden, you got to go fight the man. And Johnson has listened to his corner as he comes out more aggressively in round 4.
I thought the look on Johnson's face when he was listening in his corner was saying, easier said than done.
Yeah, the look of resignation. I noticed exactly the same thing.
But he's brave and willing. Harold, how do you have it through 3?
Jim, 3-0, 30-25, Sugar Shane Mosley. I made a beautiful job by Mosley so far. He looks excellent. Beautiful ring general slip the way he steps to the side. And you got to love that double left hook that he knocked him down twice with. In other words, he'll throw 2 left hooks before he pulls his arm back. That 3rd round, 10-7 because of the 2 knockdowns.
Thudding right hand from Mosley, another left to the body, and Golden Johnson in trouble again as he tries to clamp Mosley's arm and now comes back with punches of his own. Brave performance by Golden Johnson.
But his punches are so much slower than Shane Mosley's punches. You can see the difference in talent in there.
Well, you're going to see the difference in talent against most opponents at 135 pounds when Shane Mosley is in the ring.
He really loves to punch to the body. Some fighters don't learn that until they're way, way further advanced in their career.
And he's landing at a fearsome rate upstairs as the result of all the body punches. Golden Johnson just doesn't know where to defend himself because Mosley's coming from all angles with hard punches. Blistering right hand by Sugar Shane. Right to the body.
And to Johnson's credit, he's still pegging, still trying.
Oh, it lands an uppercut.
Don't work out of it. Work out of it.
Mosley was dispensing with defense there for a second, and Golden Johnson got a free shot with that right uppercut.
You know, Golden Johnson's stature went up in that very close loss to Gardona. And no matter what happens here, he's still showing that he's a formidable fighter. He's a real professional prize fighter.
Putting some contact on Mosley, even while being largely outclassed.
Okay, but you still take a breather, you know what I mean? You hit him a lot of power punches. Set him up with some jabs. Bam, bam, bam. Sneak those body shots in there on him because he's looking for it now. So you got to sneak those body shots in on him, okay? Jab, jab, jab. Right hand. Maybe a left hook. But fast.
Step to the man, double, triple your jab. Come back with the left hook. All right? Now he's dead. Now it's up to you to do what you got to do now. The man is gone.
Lead first.
He threw his best shots and you still here. You still here. All right? Come up the middle with your punches. Come up the middle with your punches. All right? Come up the middle and finish with the left hook. All right? Let's go. Now he's dead. Now let's go, baby. Come on, baby.
On this occasion, I thought that Eddie Mustafa said exactly the right thing to his fighter. He's trying to get his spirits up, trying to say, look, you're still in the fight. He's hit you his best shots. You're still here. You got a chance.
Well, you know, that's one of the oldest strategies in boxing. Fighting him back to his corner, and he's dead tired, and he sits down. As soon as he sits down, his trainer says, he's tired as anything. Well, Jack Mosley told Shane not to take the round off, but he said, don't work as hard, don't throw as many power punches. Start the boxing. That's exactly what he's doing.
In the last 2 rounds, rounds 3 and 4, Mosley threw more than 150 power punches and and landed close to 90 of them. So he did a lot of work offensively in those 2 rounds. Roy Jones is on record as saying that it takes just as much out of you to throw a power punch as it does to take one.
There's that southpaw stance again where he threw a straight left hand, staying in the southpaw stance for the moment. You think he sees something there that he can do, or is that just
every time he switched to southpaw, he's been very effective. But you have to do that a lot in the gym. You must practice that in the gym.
Landed a right uppercut, and now a hard left hand across the top for Mosley. It would be another feather in his cap if he managed to finish Johnson out of the southpaw stance. But now he goes back conventional.
He got nailed with a pretty good right hand when he landed that left hook, Jim.
Eddie Mustafa Muhammad working with Golden Johnson for the first time tonight. They've trained together for weeks, obviously, but this is their first bout together. Asking his fighter to come up the middle with the attack, like that.
Look at that double uppercut by Mosley. He's inventing punches in there.
Great footwork to change the punching angle by Mosley, and he comes back with 3 landed power shots. One of the things Shane Mosley does brilliantly, stepping around to find punching room.
Nailed with a pretty good left jab that time by Johnson.
You know, even if he's taking a little bit off for this round, Gil, he's still impressive in what else he does.
Oh, he does things in this round that I very seldom ever seen. He changes direction.
On January 25, HBO Sports presents the next edition of Real Sports with Bryant Gumbel. Among the stories to be featured, an investigation into offshore gambling operations that take in hundreds of millions of dollars in what the American government calls illegal sports bets. A report on a controversial study which asserts that 1 of every 5 NFL players has a criminal background. And a look at the grueling and often frustrating life of a National Football League assistant coach. Real Sports, where nothing is out of bounds, premieres Monday, January 25 at 10, here on HBO.
Don't let this one get away. The man ready to give it up. All right, it's yours to take. It's yours to take.
You got to take it. He ain't gonna give it to you.
Now you go ahead and take it. Tell me what kind of nuts you got. It's nuts and guts in this hair place, baby. Nuts and guts.
Here we see the flurry from Mosley. You can see that he's not just a good, well-schooled fighter, but when he has the advantage and the opportunity, he'll just let go like a brawler.
And Mosley, who had been throwing upward of 75 punches per round, brought it down to only 56 attempted blows in that last round, following his father's instructions to get it a little bit under control and get a little rest.
When you say he's a brawler, he's what I would call a thinking brawler. Because he's giving the idea he's just letting it all hang out, but in the meanwhile he's moving one way or the other, getting the angle on you.
I don't know if this is the first time you've seen him in person or not, Gil, but you seem very impressed by him, as all of us have been.
I'm very, very impressed by him. He's showing all sorts of talent in this ring.
But also a kind of fighting spirit. It's not just textbook talent.
I think I'm looking at a fight back in the 40s right now, Larry. That's what it looks like.
You compare him to the best lightweights you've seen.
Well, he looks pretty darn good to me right now. Another 20 fights or so. Then we'll see.
And as you look around the pound-for-pound landscape, Gil, with Jones, De La Hoya, Cuarte, Trinidad, Evander Holyfield, the various other top fighters in the sport, Ricardo Lopez, where do you put Mosley?
Well, I think he has the same curse on him right now that Roy Jones has. There just isn't that great opposition out there of fights that are going to be contests for him. He's so far above the average guy. He's in there with a pretty tough guy right now, and he's just more or less having a good time.
One lightweight who has called out Mosley and definitely wants a match with him, Ivan Robinson, two-time conqueror of Arturo Gatti. There you go. Larry will talk later about some of the other lightweights who might be on the horizon for Shane.
Holding too much.
Left hook to the body, Mosley.
Break, no punching. Clean break, sit back.
Johnson still bouncing on his toes.
Brave, committed performance by Golden Johnson. Coming off a similarly brave, committed performance against Israel Pito Cardona.
Well, except that he's digging a very deep hole for himself in this fight. With Cardona, the fight was up in the air till the last round.
Well, Cardona doesn't have the kinds of skills that Shane Mosley has.
No question about that. Who does in that weight class?
Well, I think Ivan Robinson has some real skills.
Ivan Robinson doesn't have the punching power or strength.
He'll hope to get a chance to prove it one way or the other. Larry, what about the landscape in the lightweight division presently ruled by Shane Mosley?
Well, here's a look at the fellas out there who would like to fight Mosley. Cesar Bazan, who holds one of the titles. Good Mexican fighter. Stevie Johnston, who has lost only a close decision to Bazan and once beat Mosley in the amateurs. And Ivan Robinson, who is coming off two sensational performances last year against
Arturo Gatti.
But again, it's the opposition. You don't compare Mosley and Gatti. Do you put them in the same league?
No, I'm not. But Ivan Robinson, we've seen him 3 times.
See the zero guy?
He's put on 3 really good performances.
Yeah, sorry to interrupt. I was pointing out the zero because we're told that's only the second time in the history of CompuBox round by round punch counting that a fighter has gone an entire round without landing a punch. Golden Johnson, by CompuBox numbers, 0 for 30 in that round. The only other time it happened, Roy Jones shutting out Vinny Pazienza over the course of a round. Harold Letterman, how about your scorecard through 6?
I didn't give the 6th round to Golden Johnson, who didn't land a punch. 6-0, 60-52, Sugar Shane Mosley. Jim, I got to tell you, one of the things that grabs the eye of boxing judges all the time is the guy that gets off first. I mean, and Shane Mosley does this beautifully. Effective aggressiveness, he always throws that first punch, and Golden Johnson gets hit so hard he can't count them.
Golden Johnson is in retreat now. It looks as though he's now trying to find a way to survive. That Mosley has beaten him out of the idea that he can win the fight.
Yeah.
I think he'd like to get out of there gracefully.
Right. I was lauding Johnson for his brave and committed performance. His bravery and commitment waned precipitously.
Well, he's very game, but he's so overmatched talent-wise. Not heart-wise, talent-wise.
Johnson just got a chance to land a punch there. By CompuBox observation, it's the first time in more than 4 minutes that Golden Johnson had landed a punch against Mosley. Mosley willing to give his body as he digs away at Johnson's ribcage.
Johnson is still punching back. Have to give him credit.
Pattern with Shane Mosley, round after round of body punishment, until he makes the man surrender.
Beautiful left hook to the body again.
Oh, what a right cross. And Johnson, badly hurt, goes down on the second right cross. The first one was a beauty.
You know, this is the time, I think, when a corner has to start thinking of, this kid has still got a career in front of himself.
Absolutely. If I was in the corner, the fight would be over. Oh, he nailed
Mosley with a hard right hand. Johnson coming back with a right hand to stop Mosley momentarily in his tracks. But here comes Sugar Shane again.
Johnson really is taking a beating now.
goes down on a body punch for the third time in the bout.
Please stay there, Golden.
He did not let the referee take a good look at him.
9, 10.
Smart play. Smart play by Golden Johnson, who had no chance to win the fight and knew it.
You'll be back another day, kid.
Well, he gave a satisfactory performance, I have to say that.
Yep.
He did everything he could against a super superior fighter, Shane Mosley.
Okay. Mona is definitely in the house. They got my fans watching. Okay. And hey, it's another one. 31-0, 29 knockouts.
He knows his record. Here's another look at the first knockdown. And there's that first right cross that set it up. Golden Johnson still bobbing at that point. The second right cross put him down. And Gil, what about the way Mosley puts punches together when he's ready to finish?
I can't find any fault with Mosley at all. And watch this left hook to the body. He's going down again to that left hook to the body. That was his most effective punch the entire fight, that left hook underneath.
Well, he scored 3 separate knockdowns with double left hooks and left hooks to the body. One knockdown on the right cross. Of course, the punishment in round 3 was set up by a brilliant right uppercut. We saw the left hook upstairs as well several times. Shane Mosley, a fighter with every conceivable weapon.
I would have to say so. He showed me just about everything tonight, including switching to southpaw, giving me the impression that he was really brawling. He knew where he was all the time in his fight.
Now let's go to ring announcer Mark Barrow for the official particulars on Mosley's 29th KO.
Ladies and gentlemen, the time, 2 minutes, 59 seconds of the 7th round. The winner by knockout and still IBF lightweight champion of the world, Sugar Shane Mosley.
Okay, Tammy. Okay, you kids get down. Y'all gotta get down. Come on. Let me stand right here. Come down. Right here in the middle.
Final punch stat numbers, utterly one-sided. It was the 6th round in which Golden Johnson went 0 for 30, didn't land a punch. So Mosley lands almost as many punches as Johnson is able to throw. Throws 222 more than Golden Johnson, lands 202 more, and doubles him in connect percentage. The power punch numbers will be equally one-sided. You see them there. 61% connection on power punch for Mosley. And